Thank you, Jay. NFL analyst Mina Kimes with us now. So, Mina, Jalen Carter ejected before the first snap. Of all the ways for this NFL season to start, what was your reaction to it?
I mean, disbelief like the rest of the world, just a profoundly dumb moment to start this game. But I also think you saw over the course of the game how integral Jalen Carter is to this defense. You know, he never left the field last year, guys. He played a ton of snaps. He was overwhelmingly the most double-team player on that Eagles defensive line. And while I did think Jordan Davis played quite well and also played a lot, probably a lot more than he thought he had to, you saw that this pass rush is a work in progress outside of Jalen Carter. Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, both gone. They're counting on young players, Jalix Hunt, Moro Jomo, and Nolan Smith to step up. And it was a little hot and cold, quite frankly, without Carter being doubled on the interior. So they absolutely need him to play. They certainly need him against competition like the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, Sweat, Williams gone before the season started, and then Carter gone in 6 seconds. Mina, based on how the rest of this game played out, what was your biggest takeaway for each team, starting with the Eagles?
Yeah, you know, for the Eagles side on offense, I thought Jalen Hurts played a really excellent, clean game. Outside of the deep post, mostly just took what was available to him underneath, particularly with his legs. Some key scrambles whenever the Cowboys played man coverage or when they played soft zones, as they did for much of the game, and ceded some ground underneath. You know, his ability to pick up 4 or 5 yards when they need 2, 3 is incredibly important, and it was really useful last night. On the other side of the ball, guys, I was really impressed with this Cowboys offense. Granted, much easier job without Jalen Carter on the field, but I thought the offensive line was excellent, and you saw what a difficult proposition this passing game presents. Very few teams have sufficient cornerbacks to handle both CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. The Eagles, for the most part, sacrificed Quinyon Mitchell to Pickens. So the Cowboys said, great, we're more than happy to attack your other corners, mostly Adoree Jackson, with CeeDee Lamb. And that's going to be something I think we're going to see play out all season long. I thought Brian Schottenheimer called a really good game as well. You saw some modernization, more motion, that type of thing. This passing game is something to be reckoned with. Dak Prescott was fantastic.
Yeah, Dak made the layup, 17 of 21 inside of 10 yards. And if not for a couple drops late on deep balls, maybe it's a different story last night. The Chiefs, this is step one for them, trying to get to a 4th straight Super Bowl. What will you be watching for most closely tonight with KC?
I'd like to see if Kansas City looks better running the ball. You know, for all of the concerns valid about the lack of an explosive passing game, they also really lacked an explosive rushing attack last year. 32nd league-wide in the percent of runs that went for 10 yards or more. And they go up against a Chargers defense that was solid against the run last year, but lost a player who I think was their best run-stuffing defensive tackle in Poona Ford across town to the Rams. So I think that's a weakness Kansas City can attack. And whether they can do so, I think, will go a long ways toward determining whether the passing game can be more explosive as well.
Mina, on the other side, we just got some news. Chargers guard Mekhi Becton questionable tonight with an unspecified illness, and this is for an O-line that already has some uncertainty. Rashawn Slater out, other pieces moving around. How concerned are you about that unit tonight against that KC front?
Well, Phil, I don't know if you've heard of him, but there is a player on the other side of the ball who might be the best defensive tackle in football, and that would be, of course, Chris Jones. Not the matchup you want to face with a weakened interior offensive line, but also a weakened entire right side of the O-line because, as you alluded to, they suffered that horrible injury and had to move Joe Alt to the opposite side to take the place of Rashawn Slater. I'll be interested in seeing how Kansas City and Steve Spagnuolo approach this. Something they like to do is move Chris Jones around. Sometimes they'll play him on the edge on passing downs. But with this injury, the combination of him and George Karlaftis, I think, could present a significant challenge for the Chargers. Look for them to try to orient the offense away from that side of the offensive line. I would also see Marion Hampton as being a check down option for Herbert.
Yeah, Herbert sacked a career-high 41 times last year. That O-line's got to keep him upright in what is technically a division home game. MK